Hey everybody, how's it going? I do not know if, I think everything, yeah, it looks like the volume's going. How is everybody doing? I know that's not necessarily a lot of folks, but I am doing good today. I had a thing that I was doing with my mom that was early and was a little challenging just time-wise. But I hope you're doing well. Man, I have not. Let's see if I can. Oh, here we go. Trying to pop out the chats. I don't think I have everything even set. But trying to do a bunch. We filmed a lot this week. Sadly, not all of it is usable. We got something wrong, pretty wrong on one of the games, which was a downer. But we're doing good. And it was nice to go have lunch with my mom and her financial advisor. He's a nice guy. I'd met him before, so. Good gosh, how do I get to the, let me go back. Trying to get the chat going. There we go. I'm not good with these Macs, I'll tell you that right now. Like, why is it not, oh, there we go. Got new glasses, which are several new glasses actually. Some to read a little bit better at the game table. And then I think it was ISO is causing video choppy. It does not, shouldn't be doing that. Hey, Sarah. Let's see how it goes. It shouldn't be. I believe it's looking okay on my end, but of course, you know, I mean, I'm looking at the actual stream as well, and I try not to run anything there. Now, it could be just not great. We've had a little bit of troubles lately. Mostly, I'll tell you what's really crazy about all these things is just the amount of logging me out of stuff. It's kind of annoying. Like, and you know, I'll have just been on it the day before or something like that. When we streamed last week, video looks fine. Okay, hey, thanks so much, TSXL. But yeah, we filmed a bunch. We had Deborah over. She's going to be leaving for, oh shoot, I should have got something to drink. She's going to be leaving for New York soon, so we were trying to film a bunch of stuff with her, and Dave's in town, so we're filming stuff with him, which was great. We need to get Aaron over. It's just always so much stuff to do. Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong thing. Video very clear, definitely dropping frames. Huh. Well, you know what? It could very well be. Let me cut to the other. So sometimes. And it's me, we're dropping on me, right? So, let me think. It's probably the, we use a device to connect between HDMI and SDI, which is what we run our stuff on. Let me go to, it says it's offline, is that true? Let me go back. It looked okay when I was looking at it, but you know, the weird thing is you definitely need to be paying attention to the, shucks, went to Twitch and not our channel. But you're on YouTube having problems? Okay. I would think both of them are doing that. So let me see. I'm gonna switch to the down cam. I will, actually, let me, darn it. I have multiple windows open. Our stuff got logged out of, oh, this is terrible. Yep. So yeah, we use a software to connect to the studio. There's a control room and we have, let me see if I can find it here. Oh, there we go. Let me switch cams. There we go. So that's the down cam. Let me go disconnect because that was me. I wonder, does this look bad? I mean, this is what I always worry about. But let me try to get the, keep it, you know, if you see something. No, I'm not on OBS Graveyard. We are, Graveyard Game Yard. We are using a program called, gosh darn it, which one of these is this one? I can't remember. I think it's this one. So let me see if it cuts off. It is that camera, so let's see if this will do it. But sometimes you have to, there's like a handshake that has to happen because of HDCP, and that may be not working, I don't know. We'll see if this is better. I'll cut back to the me camera for a little bit to just make sure it's fine. That one looks the same. It's also doing a choppy stuff, weird. It does not look like on our end, so there might be some sort of networking, you know, like, we shouldn't be having problems, but we could be. Oh, that looks better. Okay. So let me know if the down cam gives it same problems. Let me cut to me again. Let me know if that gives us any problems first, and then if the down cam gives me problems, I need to do the same thing. It's weird. So we have, the studio has a setup for, most important streaming, of course, is our regular game night streaming. This is just something to do, and I like doing it. Started doing it during the pandemic, I really am having fun doing I mean, we started doing all the, even though we did a little streaming before the pandemic, because we started at the beginning of January with Dave and Deborah, and it was really fun, good gosh. We started doing it, Scott and I started to stream painting minis, because I love to paint minis. I mean, I got involved with BGG and had my regular job, and so I wasn't doing much there. And then, oh wait, yeah, I see it now. So is it still giving me, is it on me right now and giving me problems, Graveyard Game Yard? We are using a Lumix GH5, so Panasonic. It generally doesn't give us any grief. So let me cut to, it's not so, being on me is not so important. So let's just cut back to the down cam and let's just see how that goes. Because it could be network problems. We haven't had troubles, but my mom has been having a tremendous amount of trouble. She's not on the same network as us though. But hers got bought, or actually, so she's on Verizon, then got bought by, they got bought by Frontier, and now Frontier's owned by Verizon again. So all kinds of silliness. So let me go get a drink too while we're at it. It's on you and it looks the same. Okay. Is it still doing it? Like, let me do the down cam. Let me do the down cam too. It's gonna go out for a second, but you'll see me in the corner. We'll just make sure. It sucks too, because I think I really need to shut them off. And I'm not certain what is going on because I actually turn everything on in a specific order. So that's going to cut that off. But you'll see me. Theoretically, that's going to cut that off. I don't know. But we'll go with that first. Yeah, there you go. Nice little glitch. But yeah, the handshaking thing is terrible. Like we have one camera that has SDI. Wonder what's going on with that camera there though. Let me try powering down this. We have a lot of things that connect in the way too, so it could be that. Let me cut. Oh, that's got a real glitch in it. But yeah, so you have basically probably a handshake all the way along the line, multiples of them. But let's see how this goes. Anyway, we really like these cameras. They're really great. The great thing about them is, the great thing about these cameras is you can record as long as you want, and that's what we need for game night. I mean, as long as you have memory. And so there's a lot of that that we need to do. So yeah, I did get new glasses. These are cool, but they are not, they're not short enough. I actually like, so I just bought a pair that was 3 millimeters bigger than the ones I normally use, and they are not good. I mean, they're good, but I can't read underneath them, so I'm nearsighted, and I can easily read. I do use readers to like really see up close, but I can read totally fine. But it's kind of a drag. I would love to, you know, of course, it would be nice to have all of that stuff. You know, no problems with your vision, but it is not a reality. But we've been doing good, and I've been really eager to paint. We actually have, Nikki has not been feeling well though. She worked in the yard a bunch last week. My Stephen King glasses, what are those? I use the Elgato Mark II for your streams. Neat. We have an Elgato Stream Deck, but we don't have, we have a full-on real PC with 5 ins on it. Actually, it might have more than 5, because we can do like up to 6 cameras, I think. We're definitely wired for 6, so I'm not 100% sure. I'm getting a soda, so I'm in here doing other things in the control room. What can I have? Okay. But I am really eager to paint. I'm trying to get some time on the weekend. we have a SoCal Games Day that Dave actually runs. He's in town. He runs it, but he's been away taking care of his parents for so long, and now it's just his mom. And so I really need to get this camera. I need to change the meterings, like where it does the zoom, because I'm seriously having trouble with that. Anyway, so yeah, he's been running it, at least sharing it, running it for a long time. But then our friend Stephanie has been running it, I think, with our friend Chris. So I will be going in Saturday, which will be fun. I haven't been for a long time. Pair of glasses that look like what he used to wear back in the 70s, early 80s, most comfortable glasses ever. I have no idea what, I mean, these aren't them. These are fine. Where did I put them? It's a mess in here too. The desk has just gotten out of control. We're trying to, yeah, these are just huge. They're also wider than my old glasses, which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't have a very wide face, so, but they're nice. Let's see here. 56, 18, 52. I don't know what that 52 is, but they're cool. They're fine. I did end up borrowing more of the exact same glasses I already have. So I got the ones I bought a while back. I got new versions of them, although in gunmetal, which I'm not 100% sure. These are gunmetal too. Not 100% sure I love them, but they're fine and they're different. But I couldn't, I mean, I looked at so many places. We did not go to Lens Crafters, but I never bought any. I had a friend that worked at Lens Crafters, but I never bought anything from them. So what we're going to do is, I think we're going to try to work on her. I was thinking of going live and playing the original Horrified. And decided not to. That's awesome, Graveyard Game Yard. I love the Horrified games. We've played, I don't think we played the original one on the show. We definitely played it on a live stream. Here was the Tim Drake Robin that I worked on last week. It looks pretty good. It is still not varnished. I don't even know. I'm probably going to varnish all of them again, just in case, because I don't remember what's been and what hasn't been varnished. I might even try to airbrush varnish. I'm not a big airbrusher for that. As a matter of fact, I've only ever really airbrushed varnish a couple times, and I've never had any bad things. I mean, we don't have, I think, really the humidity or the weather issues that might bring that, but I'm excited. This is the last of the DC Superheroes United. Batman Hush. I'm nervous about, so they put an update out, and they're talking about selling more IP. CMON. I don't know why I was going to say CNC. And CMON, and that would, I mean, I don't know what more IP they have to sell. They definitely have DC, they have superheroes, Marvel United and stuff, but I don't know how that one work. And I'm not certain what other games they've done with CMON, right? Like where they, because they're in retail. That's why the DC, I know that this was put out, and it's sold out. It was put out to try to make some money. But like they're supposedly have $14 million worth of Kickstarters to deliver still. And, you know, they're now saying this one is going to be at least a year late. You know, they say later, fourth quarter this year, and you can almost guarantee that is not going to happen. But we might get lucky because I've invested a lot in it, which is sad. Let me see. I do see like little glitches in the streaming. Let me cut to, well, I don't want to run it. I don't run the stream. Only do I look on the live stream machine because that's what I'm patched into that through basically remote desktop. So I airbrushed her. You know what? Let me get the picture up that I like for this one. So that's the other thing. I don't know if they're going to get all these things done. It's really not great. I did buy the how to paint book. Paint these minis. Wow, what is going on here? Did I close one? This is so awful. And then I got a tab that I don't even need. Oh, that's Firefox. There we go. No, that's not it. Did I close the one? I just don't. These Macs. Command tab. There we go. But they don't have many of them painted. So they used to do them all. They did paint, I think they're painting like the villains or something first. And they have one, painted one for Catwoman, and it's great. So, she is very black and white. I was kind of thinking to paint like a bluish tone, but I'm not going to do that. Boy, I really need those other glasses maybe. Anyway, so her glasses are pretty bright. I think I need to layer a bit of, wow, this is really out of focus, or it's me. These readers are not great for that. Oh, I can see. Now what I really need is some narrow readers too that I can look over. See, I'm going to try to layer some light color. I probably won't do exactly white because I'll probably do this Dorado skin. I won't do exactly white because white goes on very weird. It's better when you use a little bit of another color. So I usually use like a gray, but I'm thinking this warm flesh tone might, what is going on here? The warm flesh tone might actually be reasonable for it. What is this? Interesting, it's showing the other cameras multiple views of it where it's still got that yellow tint. I'm not really certain what all the problems are with this stuff. It's definitely annoying. Horrified D&D is cool. Yeah, we did that one. That was really fun. Universal Monsters is gorgeous. It's the original one. But we really had fun with every single one of them. We had the American Monsters one. I think we did that on a live stream too. But we did the Monsters or whatever with Russ and Gavin. And oh boy, we had a terrible game. I mean, we had fun, but we had a terrible game. And then the D&D one's great. I mean, Deborah had a great time with it. I was lucky enough to have 2 copies, so we gave her one. We also had all the minis, extras of the minis to paint. I loved painting those, and I'm very happy with the results. Especially because they were so quick. We painted at an event at Gen Con. Ooh, I don't want to do this. I've never even used this paint. So one of the things I recommend is that you poke a paper clip in these things because before you try to squirt it out. The nozzles are not great. They, I don't think think it's too thin. Look at that, this is coming out. The nozzles are not in there great. They like, I don't know how loose this one is. This one's pretty good. But I've had some that just squirted right out and a bunch of paint came out. I do want this kind of thin, so we'll do one more shake up though. But I use this, I just took a paintbrush handle that is not really actually part of a paintbrush. It was to protect the paintbrushes, and then I just pin viced a hole in it to then glue in a paper clip, and I just use this. I have it. The reason why I did this is because I had paper clips around to do that, and I never could find them. With this larger thing, I leave it here, and it's generally easier to find. Not always easier to find. What I dig about the original Horrified is that not only is it Universal Monsters, but you can... Oh, it's the Monster Squad, yeah. Dave, I can't remember if... Dave might be in that movie. That was directed by his friend, Fred... Oh gosh, what's Fred's last name? He kind of did a lot of Star Trek. And I think Dave, I can't remember if he's in that one or not. He might have played, I remember one movie where he played a guy in a banana suit. I don't have Monster Squad on disc. I'm thinking about buying it. They have a very nice one. Fred Decker, that is the guy. So Dave used to be part of this group of UCLA guys that were just film lovers that all were roommates. And one of their roommates, of course, was Shane Black, which Dave wrote 2 screenplays with. No, he only wrote one. He was writing another screenplay, which I won't mention, that the producers, the company, had somebody else in mind to do it. So it was kind of a bummer because Dave was very excited. But they did Last Action Hero together. Yep, Predator. Although Shane Black he did Predator. I can't remember. He did a movie recently, I believe, that Fred Decker might have worked on. Was not very good. But Shane did Iron Man 3, and he did Iron Man 3. I'm trying to think of the recent ones. Oh, The Good Guys. Yeah, then he wrote one of the newer Predator movies. I do believe Shane Black directed that one. I know there were some problems. Shane, I don't think I've ever met Shane. I've met a bunch of those guys, but I don't think I've ever met Shane. This needs to be thinner than this, I think. But it's pretty interesting. They ultimately, I don't think they get a credit or something, like a story by credit, but I think Daniel Waters rewrote when John McTiernan came in. Schwarzenegger really liked McTiernan, and so I think they got some sort of writing credit. It's really theirs, except I think the one thing that they wondered was the kid was going to be older. Do I want it to be bright on the edges? No, I don't. Yeah, Dave doesn't write. I mean, he did. He got involved in that one. Gosh, what else has Shane done? I feel like he's done something else. I know he was working on a Doc Savage or something like that, but yeah. Really cool. I'm not plugged in. No wonder I can't hear anything. Is out of focus. Oh, well, that's because I'm terrible in not... I need to get it in the shot. What I really need to do is adjust this camera. I think it was out of... Maybe the battery that runs it is... There's like a CMOS battery that I don't not certain that you can replace. I know the newer one that we have will not let you replace. You have to go take it in. But if you just leave a camera battery in, it'll work. And I need to figure out, like, I think the focal thing has shifted. Like, it needs to be centered. Yeah, so it autofocuses. I would never be able to get, I've thought about it, like doing fixed focus, but I would move constantly. It's terrible enough as it is, but it would be even worse. I remember when we went to go see Last Action Hero. And, you know, this is long before I met Dave, at least 10 years, maybe more. And my friend was like, oh, you know, he was disappointed. And he was like, the movie of the summer is going to be The Rocketeer, which I like that one too, but it didn't do any business either, so. But Dave is actually in an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that Arnold directed. I believe that was after Last Action Hero. That is correct. Yeah, that's, what is his name? But yeah, those are all, you know, those are all guys. So Dave's friend that was part of that group, Bob Renault, wrote Last Action Hero and, no, not Last Action Hero, wrote Action Jackson and, goodness gracious, what was the other one? I like the other one a lot. Demolition Man. And, well, there's a lot of guys. I mean, obviously Shane was the biggest breakout guy there because he wrote Lethal Weapon and just made a, you know, at the time it was a massive payout for a script. Tom Noonan, that is correct. I liked him in that movie. I thought that was a good movie. And remember, Ian McKellen is Death or whatever, the Grim Reaper. He plays the, because they're all movie guys. He plays in the, what's his name? The Swedish film, I cannot remember. And comes out of the screen. All that was really cool. I really liked Charles Dance, and I mean, it was cool, and everybody was fun in that movie. It's goofy, but it's fun. I mean, there was a lot of talent behind it, so I suppose it really is kind of a disappointment that it wasn't more exciting. But F. Maria Abraham in there. But we enjoyed it. That was a few years before I met Nikki. In my college era stuff too. But I put that paint over there. That's probably not the right place for it. So I'm trying to brighten this up a bit. Yeah, I think Demolition Man is great. Demolition Man is great. Really fun. Stallone's great in it. I don't remember who directed that one, though. That was not... I mean, it was produced by Joel Silver, that was the guy that they mostly were involved in, because I believe he was a baby producer on Lethal Weapon. But Silver produced, I believe, maybe he's a baby producer on that one too, on Die Hard. So yeah, interesting, you know. I am not a Hollywood. My dad was in the music business, so I don't really know. You know, Dave was like, we went to a Universal Studios. No, not Universal Studios. Warner Brothers tour with our friends from Germany because they wanted to go, and I had never done any of that. I had been on Universal a lot. My dad was working for a band that got a deal with MCA back in the day, and they did it was a big deal, and so because they'd signed him from another label, and we went to some event. I don't even remember the event. I just remember roaming around the lot in the middle of the night. Not middle, it's probably because I was young, so probably not too late. But yeah, The Nice Guys. Yeah, that was actually Dave's. What are you using reference? The guy who played John Connor's foster father in T2? Xander Berkeley? I like him too. He was in... Xander was in a weird comedy that I loved with Tom Hanks and John Candy called Volunteers, directed by Nicholas Meyer. That'd be him. I might put a little bit of white on here. But I don't know many people either. Of course, had no idea who Dave was when I met him. Kudos to me. I'm a weirdo about that stuff. I do love movies, but I really liked him in that movie. Liked him in Terminator 2 as well. Xander Berkeley and Jeanette Goldstein, who we'd seen in many. God, was that the same summer? I think Terminator 2 was that summer. I mean, I think that was the movie of the summer. I think that was my response. Was like, we haven't even seen Terminator yet, dude. I believe it was the same year. So Rocketeer, I mean, that was a genre summer if there ever was one. Rocketeer, Last Action Hero. There were more. 92 was a pretty great year. I think that's correct. I don't think so. I could be wrong. I believe they were the same summer, though. It might have been just, I don't remember. Because he was like, I'm going to look it up because I got to know. I'm a weirdo. Let's look it up. 91, so that might be correct. Yep, 91, and then let's see. Last Action Hero. If I could just type. 93, okay, well then I don't remember. There's another movie. Well, let's, oh wait, Terminator's that summer is 91. Yeah, 91, so that was the deal. I think we saw The Rocketeer, although it was the same guy I went to see that movie. I don't remember what his response to it was, but it was, we saw The Rocketeer and he said that's the movie of the summer, and I said we haven't even seen Terminator yet. I mean, I think we'd seen the trailers already and we're like, this is going to be amazing. We had no idea how great it was going to be. Yeah, it's a pretty good time to remember, easy to remember it with something like high school grad. Yeah, Last Action Hero. What else was there then? So that was 10 years before I met Dave, I think. You know what? I should have known that, because that's when he bought his house. He said that movie paid for his house. You hear those kind of stories all the time. Well, that movie paid for my house. Well, that's pretty amazing. Huh. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I thought Rocketeer was awesome. And I loved Alan Arkin, and my gosh, everybody was great. I don't even remember the lead's name, but Jennifer Connelly was great. Super pretty lady. Let's see here. I think I need a smaller brush. So let's go to one of my Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I saw that movie. I mean, I love Alan Rickman, but I have not seen it in forever. And I do remember thinking Alan Rickman was great in that movie. I was not on the, I mean, I liked Kevin Costner, but I didn't really know anything about him. I did not see, I think Nikki and my brother were the ones that insisted I see Dance with Wolves finally, quite a few years later. I don't know. Hey, Scott. Yeah, I thought, well, I love Timothy Dalton in it. Oh. Scott was stuck in New Orleans at the beginning of the week. The storms are just crazy. And Nick and Mike Murphy were in with, they were there with, Jamie and Jeff from Foster the Meeple in Florida. And they got stuck too. They didn't get back till, I think they got back later on Tuesday. But they were, I had things I needed them to do, and oh crud, I forgot to send that out too. So I need to let that dry. Yeah, Timothy Dalton is the Errol Flynn character. Billy Connolly, there we go, I remembered his name. Right? No, not Billy Connolly. Billy Billy Connolly's the Scottish actor, or Welsh. Billy, I thought he was pretty good. I mean, I liked the movie. It's not great, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. Okay, we're going to use a little bit of a purple color maybe, or a red. Maybe this coral, like Billy Campbell. There you go. I don't remember. I'm sure he did more, but I don't remember anything. Yeah, Scottish. Thanks, sir. But yeah, they went to Disneyland, Disney World for a full week. Nikki and I were there. We did 3 days at. I need to write those people too, by the way. We did 3 days at Disney World and then 3 days at Universal. They were all cool. We didn't have enough time for really any of them. Although Disneyland parks, I feel, are a little stretched thin between the parks. We really enjoyed because I hadn't been for 25 years or more, or more than 25 years, because I did not see the Aerosmith roller coaster, and that was amazing. And I thought they were getting rid of it, but they're just retheming it. It's going to be Muppets rock and roll roller coaster with the electric mayhem, so that'll be fun. This might be too thick or too intense. Hey, Zacho. I have no... Oh, there's a napkin. Tucked it away. Billy Campbell. He was good. So yeah, I don't remember if I had seen Jennifer Connelly, which that was another thing I hadn't seen until Nikki and Scott wanted me to see it. I'd never seen Labyrinth. And I don't think I saw, I know I didn't see it, the one store that was basically filmed in a Target with her and, gosh, what was that guy's name? Frank something or other. That would have been, I think it would have been good. You know, I've been watching this guy, young guy who has this channel on YouTube that basically, like, what went wrong with these movies, and he's got this whole sub-series. It's not just that, but that's mostly what it is. And he's got this whole sub-series about the many Disney films that they tried to start franchises with, and you're just like, that is so true. They're just one after the other. She does have her teeth coming up, bearing her upper teeth like fangs. They're just not very fangy. Sorry. Frank Wally? Is that the guy's name? Career Opportunities or something like that? I still have never seen that movie. I mean, I've actually not seen many movies with Jennifer Connelly in it. think your tongue needs to be a brighter pink color. Maybe I put a little white in there. I really would like to get this one done now. Yeah, Scott does not like Crystal Skull either. I don't mind it. And I don't hate the new one, but I don't like it. It's not an Indiana Jones movie. I just don't, that's my problem with it. It's very, very cruel. And the villains are just terrible. So it's, I don't know. I think he had that one in there too. Essentially another, but you know, they weren't starting that franchise. I don't know. I don't know what they were planning. Hey, KC Bill. It's really a downer because, you know, I mean, you kind of can blame George Lucas for the whole thing because he just they couldn't come up with the ridiculous MacGuffin, and I don't know. So yeah, there's an actual episode of The Young Indiana Jones where Harrison Ford is in it. There's one episode, and Dave is in that episode. So if you go back and check that out, he's the bad guy. Pretty funny. And I had never seen it. I've seen it now, but I had never seen it at the time. I'm like, what? There's a little more to that story, but we don't need to get into that. The pizzazz of the trilogy. Well, there was Indiana Jones being younger is definitely helpful. I mean, he was in his 40s when they made those movies, or almost 40. I think he was 40 when he made another great year, 92, which had like Blade Runner, The Thing. Anyway, did I say 92? I meant 82. But yeah, I think he was 40 when he made that. So it's, you know, too much. And waiting too long and to get the perfect thing. And I guess Harrison Ford wanted to do that stuff all along. I think it's his favorite role. Well, not necessarily his favorite. Well, maybe. I don't know. He's been in a lot of great stuff. Do you remember the guy in the beginning of Raiders who pulls the gun any day as he reads the map by the river? Yes. Unless you're talking about Sapito, or because he says Audio Sapito. That I know is what's his name? I mean, I remember him from that, and then I'd seen him in, I think, Enchanting April or something like that. And maybe not Enchanting April. I cannot remember. Back when I used to go to the movies all the time. No, I didn't know. Yeah, Alfred Molina, yeah. It does say Satipo in the credits. So he says Sapito, and then they say, no, I don't know if I didn't know he's later. Yeah, not Doc Ock. What was the other part that he played later on? Gosh, I love that movie. Wish I could make little fangs. Oops. What I could do is just make those a little brighter or something. They're kind of there. Ugh, in all over the tongue. I said I was going to put some white in there. Oh, that's right. I knew that. I absolutely knew that. I mean, I love Indiana Jones. Love that movie. Well, there's a lot of those guys. I mean, his stunt guy, gosh, what is that guy's name? Not necessarily, maybe the stunt coordinator. He played like the slave master of the kids or something like that. And Vic something or other, maybe. just because it's timeline before, right? I don't know how I would organize all the, I mean, I do put them in release order because I have a Plex server. Man, I'm layering this on really slow, but I want it to try to like kind of, it's going to be the real pop of color on this miniature. Okay, let's put a little bit more of that red on. I think the tongue is... We do watch like the Star Wars stuff, and during the pandemic we went through the whole thing, including the animated series and stuff like that, in order. It was cool. I mean, I sometimes appreciate that. I mean, Clone Wars is crazy, but there's some great stuff. We were completely knocked out by the last 3 or 4 videos of that series. It was really great. Crazy it had to wait so long for it to come out. They just, when they got bought, that stuff all stopped. And thankfully brought it back. I just hope Filoni does a good job. I don't know who the other person is that's running the studio, but I hope Filoni does a good job, because I'm sort of doubtful. Because he, I mean, whatever, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm never that frustrated with stuff, but I did not care for Ahsoka that much, this series, and that's all him. So it's like, well, and I know he's working on the new, the Mandalorian Grogu, but I mean, it is Jon Favreau, so it has a chance of being good. Because he can be, I think he's a great director. I'll never forget the time I woke up at around 2 in the morning and I watched all 3 Hobbit Extended Editions and all 3 Lord of the Rings edition in one sitting. Wow, okay, well you've got some fortitude there, because it's something I couldn't do. Those are, I'm not even a big fan of the Extended Editions. Nikki generally wants to watch those more often than I do. I get why people want to see them, because there's important, stuff that is not in there. I took every episode from the first season of Mandalorian and added them into one movie. Wow, that's a good idea. Seems like from the first season, you say? Yeah, that's only 8 episodes or 7 episodes, I think, right? So, but it's still a lot. That first season was great. I mean, I like them all. They're fine. I don't love the last season, but it's not awful. Ugh, it's too wet. I need to stop painting this if I want to paint the color on top of it too, because okay. Okay. Yeah, I totally understand. It's not great. Back to the Future in one long movie, huh? How's that work with the change of Jennifer and stuff? I might need to brighten up her. Is this the right one? No. I have no idea what's the right Basilicon gray. That is the right one. I have two bottles that are not great. Yeah, Jennifer. I always like the weird ones anyway. I really like 2. I mean, I love the first one. It's great. But of the sequels, I kind of like 2 more than 3, but I still really love 3, so there's really fun stuff in there. That seems like a fun edit. Sorry, out of focus. Come on, focus. I really need to change the focus matrix thing. Gosh darn it, I'm not in the frame. Yeah. Did they put it out on disc, that ultimate cut? Oh, keep it in theater exclusive. Well, you know, we were here in LA that they have 2 theaters that he owns. I have only ever been to the New Beverly before he bought it. Okay. But this palette is drying out really fast. Not in focus. Not in frame, really. Huh, wow. Jimmy Kimmel. I've only been to the show once. I went to the, we had gotten word that McCartney was going to be there. They just told us, go get the tickets because you don't have to pay. And it was really great. It was really amazing. Long show. Concert afterwards. Plus, we were there for waiting because you have to wait to go in for the sound check. You know, it was like an hour-long sound check with a bunch of songs he did not play, and it was all on Hollywood Boulevard. Gosh, focus. Are you just visiting in Pennsylvania right now, or are you stuck, or are you just back to Pennsylvania? Hey, Black Acre Cito Loco. I have gum in my mouth that I must get rid of. Ah, you live in PA? I've only ever been to Pittsburgh and Philly. Although we did go to, which is outside of Pittsburgh, we did go to Falling Water, which Nikki and I went when we were on our honeymoon. I had already been there, but I was like, "Do you want to go?" We had changed our plans, and she was into it and was really great. Unfortunately, not missing much. We really liked Pittsburgh, and we liked. I don't think Nikki. We did not go to Philly. Nikki and I did not go to Philly. I had done that before. Poconos, yeah. Well, give me a second. I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'm sorry. Drinking too much liquid. Okay. What was I ever my favorite mini, painted mini? Well, I don't know, but I've had some real fun ones. I always have this one here because I just like, it's a standard kind of paint job, but I really had fun painting this one. This is from Space Hulk. And these are pretty great minis. These are now 15 years old, 16 years old, I think. Actually 2009, so it's almost 17 years old. But I love painting that one. I really, really enjoyed these. Yeah, I like Warhammer too. This is Warhammer Underworlds. I painted this one in Germany year before, in 24, excuse me. And I did not have my readers with me, which I really need when I'm painting like the little stuff. And these can be tiny. I mean, they're definitely not like the Marvel United. And I painted, then this is these are the Crimson Court. These are just, I saw these minis and I had Sebastian, my friend Sebastian, when we were coming, I asked him to buy them for me. I didn't need the game components, I just wanted the miniatures. They're available again. They have like these new, well, I shouldn't say that. Their stuff does not last, but they had a new, there's 4 minis from that. This new set where they do 4, some new, some old. That was obviously an old one. Where you can buy a box for around $100 with 4 different war bands in it, which is really awesome. You know, because the war bands are only about only about 3 to 5 minis, maybe a few more. I kind of wish they'd do I mean, I get it. Kill Team is just larger. I've played Kill Team 2. I really like that one. So I was doing metallic. I put it in the thing, and I didn't do it. So I need to put some medium for that, too, because I don't think I want it to be super intense. Thanks, Graveyard Game Yard. I love painting the minis. I mean, it's really fun. I actually, when I was young, my parents got me like World War II stuff. See, look, that just popped right off me trying to clean it on the... this is one I spilled a lot of. I've spilled paint too, but I spilled just a ton of the medium. Just shot out. I was able to use most of it, but still, it was frustrating. It's just not on there strong. I basically probably should just buy another bottle, or see if I can maybe figure out a way to make that stick in there a little bit more. Okay. But yeah, I have fun painting the minis. So this is a speed paint metallic, which they're interesting. These are from Army Painter. I mostly use the Citadel paints that they were kind of, I had bought like a bunch of the first wave, but they were kind enough to send me a set of the new releases, which I believe are now 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. And I was kind of hoping they'd have some new stuff. Maybe they'll do it at one of the big miniature conventions. But yeah, the nice thing about these is they're a little easier to get into. First of all, you don't have to paint as many minis when you do the Warhammer Underworlds. And, you know, it's just a quick tactical battle game. It's not, you know, I mean, they're doing a lot to try to improve make it more accessible for folks. There's a lot of great things that they're doing. I mean, I really appreciate the contrast paints. I think they're really cool. Trying to toss a link here, but because I'm not a mod. I don't think it saw it. Yeah, I like doing this, the terrain and stuff like that. You can send the link to like I think BGG show at boardgamegeek.com I have access to. I know I do. We don't get a lot for that one, on that one. Come on, focus. So what I'll do is I'll use a little bit of yeah, it's kind of, there's ways to get that set up. I have no idea to like do let people drop photos in the chat. I don't have any idea how to do it. Ugh. Shucks. I think I just need my hands in the shot so it's a smaller change. But I do hope that they can get the DC Superheroes United. It would really be good because it's a lot of folks put a lot of money in it. It's over 5 million. I hit something and ended up leaving the room here. Weird. Oh, you know what? You can send me. I'm Hecubus on at BGG. You can send me a link there. So if you look up, you can use the Geek Mail. That is correct, manservant Hecubus. It's misspelled though. My friend, I just stuck with it. Back college days, we were, I think we were setting up accounts for something, and he just typed it in wrong. I was like, oh, that's it. And you know, it might have even been like the real spelling might have already been claimed or something. I don't remember. Could be the spawn of Satan himself. Okay, let's see if we can try a little bit of the, nope, it's HECCUBUS, I'm sorry. That's what it's misspelled. The actual character is HECUBUS. So there's not a user on BGG without HECUBUS? That is the plan, Sonia, to play this on game night. We've only ever played the very first one. We've done plenty of plays on, including one with my mom, in like 2021. And we haven't played any of the multiverse stuff. I don't have that much painted of the multiverse. I've got like about 5 minis painted. But I got these and I just wanted to paint something different. I've been burned out on like Marvel stuff. I do like Paul too, the movie, if that's what you're referring to. We like the weird stuff. Things that get canceled, all that kind of stuff. Anytime something sticks around longer than a little while, we're totally blown away because we absolutely love. Nikki and I are what they call harbingers of failure. If we really like it, it isn't going to last. Cool, I'll just see how it works, if it worked. Okay, BGG. I do see a new email. I'm very good about it. Nope, not yet. It's HECCUBUS. Wait a second, I somehow did the wrong thing on YouTube. Boo. Frickety who. That's what the email is. Dang it. I can fix it on the other end, but it's frustrating because we are not playing up or down. HECCUBUS. Oops, out of focus. But they look kind of cool. We'll see here. I might need to put a little ring of darker color. I was kind of hoping that my shading would take care of it, but not really. It's not doing it. But I did thin it. It should be Lincoln. It'll have my name on there when you find it. I mean, you can actually find me on BGG much more easily just by looking on the front page, because our video is there and I'm the one that posted it, so you can just click through there as well and find me. Actually, I'm not going to put this on yet. Darn it. Come on, focus. There we go. It looks pretty good. What I did to kind of actually find to poke out the teeth is I'm just painting the tiniest little brighter highlight. You know, just basically making the tooth brighter because there's like little teeny fangs here, so I'm just bumping them out a little bit. You know who's going to see that? Me. Okay. Yeah. Well, you actually should go look and see when they were last on. So yeah, that person has the real spelling of Hecubus. Let me look it up here. But yeah, I've never been early enough to, come on. Why is it not searching? Go. No, that's Paul Phillips. There's Hecubus. Hecubus, wow. Last was January 21st, 2022. No, February 21st. So it's 4 years almost. You're probably not. Wow, that's crazy. So that person joined in I blew it. But you know, I was using HECC UBUS. But I could have had it. I've always wanted it, but I'm never going to try too hard. Actually, I should be looking and see if it showed up for me. Okay. There it is. Cool. Okay. I'm not in the shot once again. Not in the shot. Brush is too dry. Let's wipe that off. After I finished building a shelving unit for my from the base, I'm going to take on a side project and build a diorama that will hold all the Hallmark Disney Haunted Mansions. That's awesome. We have dreams of, Nikki was going to do something for my minis. When we bought this house, they had left a kind of an interesting display cabinet, but was missing the shelves. And Nikki was going to do something with it, but it just started to dry rot. It was just out here in the studio. So we got rid of it. I found like on Etsy, somebody that made it wasn't terribly expensive. You have to build it all because it's all laser cut. But storage for supposedly all of the minis. I mean, it's pretty amazing. For like each, I don't think they have, I can't remember what it was. It might be Series 1 and Series 2 in the first wave. In Series 1 and Series 2 in the main box, which I can't even believe it. It supposedly had everything. And then they maybe, I don't think the big stuff can fit in it, like oh gosh, the big characters like Devil Dinosaur and stuff like that. And I don't think the Sentinels fit from the X-Men ones, so. These Marvel United ones, I would like to get them all in storage at some point. We have a box that I'm using right now that's just basically, as a matter of fact, just an ornament box that just to store them all, because I have everybody's minis here. I'm doing 3 sets, so. Wish I could do that. It's flexible. I should be able to do it, but. Not going on very well. So either it's dry, it's probably drying up here. I have a lot. It is, it's crazy. I guess maybe it's dry here. We haven't had rain for a week and a half, so maybe, we don't have rain ever out here, but we've had a lot of rain recently. There was some while we were in Dallas for BGG Con, and there was some when we were in Florida. But yeah, I've got quite a bit of the Marvel United stuff painted. I don't have all of them out here, but I have Ant-Man, turned out pretty cool. They're fun. The big ones are fun, and I'm trying to, encourage people to paint their minis because there's just so much stuff. There's the Red Skull, turned out pretty cool. Huh. Yeah, this is the chibi thing. They're meant to look cute, right? And I was never a chibi fan, but I do love these. I think they're pretty fun. But yeah, it's a weird weird thing. Chibis. So we stream, this week was bad. So we streamed last week and then Nikki was sick on Tuesday, so we did not stream. I was just letting her rest because we needed to film that day. Is that right? Yes. And so we didn't stream because we were going to film a little bit later in the day. And then so we generally stream, I alternate. So this week I'm streaming on Thursday evening, and then I'll stream next week Tuesday morning at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. And then the following week we will stream on, that following week, next week I stream on Tuesday, that Thursday we'll do a game night stream if Nikki's feeling well, and then the Tuesday we'll be doing a game night stream at 10:30 in the morning. So we alternate that, and it works pretty good. It does it once a week. It doesn't put it always in the evening, and it also allows folks from other parts of the world to see it live. I mean, that's the reason why we do it. And people are excited to see us, and because they didn't know. I didn't know you guys streamed. Like, yeah, it's not completely obvious. It's actually why we stream on Twitch and YouTube, because we just streamed on Twitch for the longest time, and it was just, we have the larger audience obviously on YouTube, so we started to co-stream it, and then a lot of folks were like, I didn't know you streamed. I'm like, yep. We try to keep it to a schedule. We had traveled so much, ended up traveling in December, which was fun but challenging. I don't really love to travel near the holidays, and we were pretty darn close, so we did decorate. Nikki, sometimes when we go to Germany and it's late, and then we go to BGCon in November, we might not decorate. Wow, this is drying out so quick. But we had everybody coming over, so we decorated and put some stuff up in the tree and stuff like that. Did the tree. But yeah, so we didn't stream as much as we normally would in December, and con was like earlier in November. Not really though, it's the weekend before Thanksgiving if it can happen, and that's generally what it's been most of the time. The Omega virus? I recognize the name, but I don't think I know the game. Thanks for watching. We love to, advocate the hobby. It's a really fun hobby. We are actually on our 630 some episodes now, which is crazy. But made lots of friends. It's awesome. Her hands seem very big. Okay. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Man, it is drying up so fast. This is a wet palette. I mean, I'm running lower on the gray that I'm using right now. Eesh. It is not that. So what you really need to do to meet great people is just go to, either go to or organize smaller events. So we have one this weekend that Dave is doing. I met him prior to going to that event. Actually, that was another friend of ours that, I mean, I wouldn't know Dave if it wasn't for this guy that we met. He used the Find Gamers thing on BGG, and then I actually went to their gaming event. You know, it was a weekly thing, but you can always just meet up someplace else, you know, and just because you want to, you know, there has to be some common energy, or it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? And you have to be willing to kind of prune if they're not working out, and that happens. You know what I mean? Not everybody, and people can get hurt, and you know. I mean, I've had friends, known people that have gotten, like, they just stopped meeting at that location, and then they couldn't, you know, that was it. Those people were out. And that's unfortunate. There's actually a pretty great series of things on BGG. Is Ask Miss Manners, and she talks about that stuff, you know, like if somebody's not working out or whatever. I'm such a nice guy, I don't know what I would do, but you know, we definitely try to bring people that we think are going to work on the show. Which is great. Okay. I think I'm going to make this black. This is great. Game stores have, yes, that's a great place to go to. We actually have a game store nearby that I really wanted to go last night because there's a local guy that would like to, game with us, and he is now running an event over there, which is fantastic. It's not that far from us, but it's $5. It's not bad. That you're taking up space in the game store. They definitely, not a big deal to pay for that stuff. But wow, but it's worth going, and it's definitely worth going out. I mean, you wouldn't guess it. But I'm kind of shy. It takes a little bit for me to get going. But most gamers I know are a bunch of wallflowers, and but we have some good friends that are very good about talking to others. Terrorscape. Yeah, we're all. It's a challenge, but. But we know Daryl, who's been on our show recently. So Daryl, our gaming group started when I talked with this guy that worked at a record store. I was always going to the record store. And, I was telling him, what the things we're into. And my friend Vince, who is a childhood friend, wanted to do board games. So I first got into board games through these guys who were older guys that were neighbors of my friend Vince. And gosh, this is not shaking up. And so not Amoeba. It was, I love Amoeba. It's still around, but they moved. At the time, Amoeba didn't exist, but it was called Moby Disc. Moby Disc was a small chain. And but he invited, he's like, can I bring my friends? I'm like, of course. So we started playing games, and that lasted about 3 months. And then we got into video games, playing LAN gaming, which was really fun. And wow, this is really taking a lot. So the pigment settles in the bottom. Some of these contrast paints, you really have to shake them, and it's got a lot at the bottom. Anyway. Yeah, so Amoeba is now on Hollywood Boulevard. They're not in the same location. That original location was fantastic. The building was built for them. And so the new location's fine. It's not nearly as big. Because that was 2 stories and they had the video upstairs. It was great. But yeah, we love LAN gaming. It was fun. We'd all get together like basically once a week, almost all the time, and play, current games that were really fun. And then Daryl brought. So I had seen Catan. I keep remembering the game box as something else, but I had seen Settlers of Catan in like the original Mayfair Games version. And I probably at the time, I'm like, yeah, that's too expensive. I think it was like $30 or $35 or something like that. But it was actually the first one that was made, I don't know if it was made in the US, but it was made for the US. And I didn't buy it. But they brought like the 2000 edition or something. Daryl brought it over. And we were absolutely smitten and started playing. Switched really right off of LAN gaming and then started doing board games. And Wow, this is foamy. Wow. So you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's very foamy. It took that much shaking. Now they're starting to pop, but good gosh. Anyway, so then we got into board gaming, and that was Daryl who got us. And so he's been on our show recently. He was on, he's been on a bunch of times lately, but he's on today's episode that we did with Deborah. But yeah, that's how we got back into board games, and it really changed Nikki's and my life because we were working in the industry, doing different things. And I've been working with Board Game Geek for a long time. I've been full-time for 8 years. It'll be 9 years at the end of the year. And, you know, it's great hobby, really great hobby, meeting a lot of great people.
New semi-graphic novel, semi-new graphic novel, Batman '89. It's a direct sequel to the original. I do know about that one.
But I haven't read it yet. That's the stuff I like, is the DC stuff. I have not read a lot of that in a long time. Love Five Game Group around here that streams board games, but for now we'll stick with my solo channel. Well, you can build it. You know, that's the whole way you do it, is you get people to... I mean, streaming games is challenging. Just getting people together to play games is fantastic if you can do that. Daryl, you know, Nikki actually worked with Daryl for a while, and then she quit to be full-time in board game industry. And we just all were always so busy, we'd occasionally see them. I mean, years would go by before we'd see them. And I was just kind of frustrated. We'd talk about getting together and not do it. So I'm like, hey, you know, we're not going to be gone this much this year. Let's try to get together and game. And so we have been, and it's been really great because it's been a long time. And but I had convinced him to come for the Lord of the Rings. I'm like, dude, this is a game for you. You need to come. And he had a great time. He was nervous about being on camera. He's also shy. He's nervous about being on camera. And then he, you know, you get on and you don't even notice. We'd film and you don't even notice you have the cameras, really. There is a lot of, you know, occasionally stopping to fix something or, you know, like, hold on, redo that. But generally, it's good. And, wow, this is foamy. So I'm going to try to lighten this gray up. I should just do a regular paint, but I want to see if I can do the contrast paint. So this is a apothecary white and some gray, a very dark gray contrast paint. So these are semi-transparent. I really should just paint it. We'll probably end up doing that. But I would like to try to use this stuff. Sorry, not in focus. Come on. It's very thin. I already put contrast medium in as well. But it's kind of very mottled. M-O-T-T-L-E-D? Mottled, maybe? Doesn't seem like it's not gonna stick out. That's one of the colors I'm actually not a huge fan of, is the apothecary white. I don't feel, it's meant to go over white. Actually, that's what all these paints are meant to do, is go over white. That's what I really should do, is paint it gray and then put the apothecary white over it, or paint it white gray. So it's like really fantastic on like stormtroopers and stuff like that. So that's where I don't prime in white that much. I used to do, I mean, when I first got into the contrast paints, that's what you were told to do. And there were two choices that they offered, Games Workshop, and I used Gray Sear. I don't know if that spray paint is still around. It's very good. I have their new white, which is White Scar. They sent me a can of that too when they sent all this stuff. But it was nice. They sent me the Wave
Wave 2, which I didn't have all of Wave 1, and then they sent me all the new shades, and the shades are quite good. It's nice. I have always liked using like a purple inks and stuff like that back when Games Workshop had real inks. I mean, I feel like they were real inks, I don't know. And I still probably have some. Where would they be? But, you know, they're probably in another spot here because I don't have any of the old bottles here. But like the old bottles are so bad that they just, yeah, it's not going to work. The old bottles are so bad that they, I need a darker gray. Do I have a darker gray? I might have one in this stuff. Here's one, Orca Gray. Let's try that one. So the Lord of the Rings game we brought him over for was Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship, which is the new one came out April or May from Matt Leacock, and it's based on they use it's not really the Pandemic engine, it is the Pandemic card system and some of the movement from Fall of Rome, I believe. And it's great. It's really, really good. And so we did a full-on episode of that I think it came out in May or late April. And it's very good. Wow, this is so thick, man. I've just gotten so used to, you know, they have mixing balls, 2 mixing balls in all of these paints, and I can't even hear them. I need to check that out, though. I'd forgotten about that Sam Hamm wrote that. Batman 89. Have a good one. I'll see you in a bit. Starting to hear it now. Anything that's got the white, the titanium oxide is just not great. I mean, you know, you need it to like bring opacity to paints and stuff, but good gosh, stuff is not good. Let me see if I can get this stuff. I actually have these little copper weights that that came with this Kickstarter, and it's still damp. I don't get why the sponge is very damp. Gosh dang it, it just keeps drying up though. Let's see, maybe it's going to lighten up here. What is going on with this paint? It's just so drying so quickly. Trying to do little scratch mark kind of things here to like change the tone of it. I think it'll work. Yipes, it's 8 o'clock. I need to stop pretty soon here. Wow, that was short. Thought they lasted longer. Yep, let me see if the alarm is still, it's very weird. Interesting, maybe I touched something, I don't know, that's weird. I did not snooze it, that's very bizarro. New phone, not great. Ooh, it's not focusing.
Interesting that the music stopped.
Yeah, the goggles turned out okay, I think. I mean, I want to put a little bit of red on them, or orange.
I'll figure that out in a minute. Let me see here. I do need to probably stop soon, but I would like to get the music going back. It's weird. I'm not certain how... I mean, we pay for a subscription for this service. Anyway.
But I do need to call my mom here. It's usually give her a ring in the evening, even though I was with her this afternoon, but I'll still give her a call, make sure everything's okay. Okay. So, man, I don't know what is getting on my hand, but it's all over this paintbrush. But yeah, what I did on the goggles was, I put an undercoat of lighter stuff and then just put those light colors on top of it, and it does a pretty, the color on top of it does a pretty good job in giving you a nice effect. Wow, I don't know what this is. I must have gotten something on here. It's dissolving the paint on the paintbrush. Handle. So I'm going to try to dry brush this real quick since I've got paint out. So I have this one brush. It's Army Painter. It's pretty stiff. I really should have gotten stuff from... so you don't really want to do it on... I guess I can do it on my hand. You don't want to do it on paper because... So I'm getting some of the paint off. You can't really see it here, but it's definitely lighter. So then I want to be able to go in here with just the tiniest amount of paint on it. And I want to do it a little strong. And it does a pretty good job of giving it like some sort of a feature on the ground. But you don't want it to be dry, too dry, because it ends up just being flaky, like dusty. And that's not great. And it kind of looks like it already is sort of dusty already. The paint is already off of this thing. But yeah, I don't... So I have a board here somewhere. I have no idea where it ended up that... you can dry brush, you get the paint off of it, and it was laser etched. Actually, I think it was Catan stuff that I didn't use. And because I got a laser cutter and I was using it to do just fun stuff. And I think the people that made that set. Like, oh, that'll be fun. Of course, I've never used them. So let's see, the orange is near the top of these lenses, and there's actually a bright highlight. Maybe I do that. Bright highlight at the top of the lens. Usually there's one, I tried to do one at the bottom, and you can kind of see it. I was making the half lens kind of a thing. But if I do this, I have to let it dry. Again, this is somebody else's interpretation, but I don't mind using them. I feel it just makes it so that I'm not spending so much time thinking about it. It's too wet still. Too wet. Oh, that might be good though, but it's still too wet. So I want to put a bit of the red on top.
Or orange.
Hey, Daryl, how you doing? We were speaking about you earlier.
So I don't have
a ton of oranges that I like, but I like this one. Fire Giant Orange is the one I actually really bought from these sets. Let me see if I have a mini that I painted with it. It's a pretty good one. So when we did, I think this was 3 years ago, or no, not last October, not the October 4, but so it's a 2.5, nope, they're not in here, not a 1. Where the heck did I put them all? Anyway, I painted some Hearthkin, which are called, I mean, I don't know the lore, they're basically the new space dwarves, the Leagues of Votan, but I don't know, it's so confusing. Dry brushing is my favorite part. It's not bad to do. I like dry brushing, especially on terrain. Oh my gosh. So it's very red looking, but it does go on orange, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of, well, let's see. You can see what it looks like here on my fingernail. And you can see it's pretty strong orange. Actually, that might be what I want to do. I should just use a little bit of speed paint medium because it'll just make it flow slightly better. Although, you know, the point of the medium is it's the same, basically the same stuff that the paint is made of without any of the pigment. I'm actually putting it on a little too soon from the white highlight I was painting, but that looks kind of cool. I'll probably put a glaze on. There should be enough, that little bit of highlight at the bottom that's more white. Because, you know, like the light passes through, and you do that on jewels and stuff like that. She looks cool. It's not crazy here. I might do a little bit more on the whip because I don't have any of the wrapping kind of thing going on here. But I have no more gray. I used it all up on the little bit of dry brushing I was doing there. So something like this where I will follow the wrapping. Generally, what did they do on theirs? Only one, so basically on one edge. Oof, sorry guys. It really is on basically each edge, but so one of the things you can do to bring it, one of the things you can do to bring down the intensity of some of these highlights and stuff like that is just do a wash over the whole thing that's very faint. Of like, you can use the speed paints. Like I can use this. This is a kind of a little too gray, but it might be good. But I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to put kind of a matte varnish. It should be okay. It does look like, so it's a very dark. It's why I wanted the color to be pretty neat on the
Goggles.
Yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, Graveyard. Game Yard. I really appreciate it. The chatter's been fun. Let me do just a tiny bit. I do need to get off, but I wanted to put a little gloss on the goggles and see what that looks like. So I put agitator, you can't really see it in here, but I put you can see it there on the very edge as I lift it up, but it's a green piece of glass. It's these. I don't even know if you can get these anymore from Monument Hobbies. I looked recently, I don't need any, but I looked recently and they didn't have them and I was like disappointed because I think they're great. But I also am saving every one. I'm saving it. I haven't run out of any paint yet that had the, well, you can see one in here. Maybe. Yeah, you can see it in there through there. That's one of the green ones. It helps keep the stuff stirred up and I use it on the GW stuff. You know what? I'm using this varnish on a nice brush. Bad idea. You do not want to, these are sable. Don't want to do that. But we'll see what this looks like. It should roughly be the right intensity of shine, and I want the goggles to be shiny. I have the same, so I decanted it into another bottle, but I have the same varnish, gloss varnish that I've used for, I don't use a lot of gloss varnish. Had it for 25 years or something like that. Still works. Hasn't yellowed. That's pretty good. Well, there you go. Looks pretty good. Oops, you can't see it, of course. It kind of like was giving a little bit of a, like there might be some eyes looking up at it in there. I don't have it here, but I did do pretty nice job on Wasp with her eyes. And I had a lot of fun doing that. The fangs are still not strong enough. They're a little bit there, but I kind of want them to pop out a little more. Maybe too much though, I'm a little nervous. Okay, well, you guys take care. Let's see if there's somebody we can raid if you're on Twitch and you'd like to join us. Yeah, the lenses are neat. Thank you very much, Bishop Aries. They're turning out pretty cool. So let me go to the right computer, what I like to call the right computer, and see if I can find something to raid. It's getting kind of late. Sometimes Bonzinator's doing stuff, but she will be getting close to being done. Well, we're gonna go raid somebody else. Cussing is possible if you don't really want to. I mean, we generally not try to raid, but they are honest about saying it, so it sounds like they're not doing it too much. But if you don't want to do that, they're playing Keystone North America. That's cool. Reading the rules. Conacat. I don't know who she is. But Keystone's from Rose Gauntlet, I think. But say hello for me if you do join over there. I don't have a ton of people, obviously, on... Oh, 5 viewers. Thank you. Say hello for me. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. And YouTube folks, thank you so much. I'll talk to you later, Daryl. I actually do want to talk to you. And about this weekend. Because Nikki's probably not going to make it. Crud. Got 2 things here. This is terrible. What is this doing? Oh, you know what? I'm a knucklehead. I'm on a different thing. So, I will see you guys later. Take care. Have a great one. And stay warm. Bye, everybody.